What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today's Thursday, July 17th. Now, what I want to talk about in today's video is the trading volume that's happening with DOG on Kraken. Now, there is a VP of Growth representative named Matthew Barbie who has just let out some details as of this morning regarding that trading volume and what Kraken was originally expecting, and how this could hint towards another Tier 1 centralized exchange listing, because one of the most heavily demanded things from these Tier 1s is trading volume. So I will play that clip in just a little bit, but we also have to talk about where DOG stands in the Kraken F1 rear wing rating, and that's the contest that's going on right now. Then we're also going to talk about the publicly traded company C2 Blockchain, which has been acquiring a ton of DOG along with many different holders, not only to have it on its treasury, or aka its DOG strategic reserve, but in support of the Kraken F1 challenge. So let's get into that in the charting and analysis as always. And are we in an altcoin season? So smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to join us on X, and please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So right now, DOG is around 410 million market cap. I have brought up multiple times on this channel that this is completely suppressed. If you compare DOG to Bitcoin's price, just look at Bitcoin. It's outpacing DOG, especially over the past 7 days. Now, this to me doesn't make any sense. And why is that? Well, if you look at the meme coin market over the past 7 days, all of a sudden DOG is down only 10%. And don't pay attention to meme core. That's a scam coin for all that matter. I'm talking about all these other coins that are in the double digits or even single digits. But trust me, this isn't something that's going to be forever. This is going to be short-lived, because what you're seeing happening right now is because of what you're seeing in Ethereum. So obviously you see that Bitcoin has been kind of trading sideways. It did pump up to 123,000 US dollars, a new all-time high. But notice something, Ethereum is starting to gain traction. Now, over the past 7 days, Ethereum actually gained 22%. Now, people were thinking that this could be the sign of altcoin season, and we are still at the range of 39% of the altcoin season dominance form. So if we fall over to altcoin season, it will get closer to maybe around 60, 70. That's where we can expect to see maybe a confirmation of altcoin season. Now, when you're looking at Bitcoin dominance, yes, it is falling, but it's actually bouncing off of the 200-day moving average line. Now, typically, if you want to see Bitcoin dominance fall and altcoin season to begin, you actually need to see the Bitcoin dominance fall below the green trend line, which is the 200-day moving average line. That will confirm that we are in an altcoin season, but we actually haven't done that. In fact, there have been multiple times where we've actually touched the 200-day moving average green line, and we just could not break down to the downside. So there is no confirmation yet of altcoin season. In fact, for me, the only way to confirm altcoin season is if we get down to here at around 54%. So that is a bit of a ways away, but anything can happen within this market. So let's talk about some random news. So David F. Bailey shared at the Bitcoin Museum that there was a DOG plushie, if you don't see it already, and it looks exactly like this. So that's really cool to see the DOG plushie there. I actually also see the Bitcoin puppets in this photo, but this is really cool. This is actually at the Bitcoin Museum, which I thought was really fascinating. But check this out. Just as of yesterday, DOG by itself, a meme coin that only has one Tier 1 centralized exchange listing and everything is done on-chain through decentralized exchanges, reached around $11.1 billion in total trading volume. That's ever since April 24 of 2024. Now, what Leonidas says with this total trading volume, just imagine if centralized exchanges started listing DOG even right now, but they haven't. So they missed out on 0.1 fees, so they would have earned around $11 million in revenue, 0.25% fees. If they did charge that, they would lose around $27 million. What if they charged around 0.5% fees? Well, they roughly would get $55 million in revenue. Keep in mind, if Coinbase were to list DOG for spot trading, if you did not know, Coinbase actually charges a 3% fee for trades, transactions, and also for selling, which is kind of crazy. Just imagine how much revenue Coinbase, Binance, and many of these other tier ones would have garnered from that, and they're missing out. But here's the thing I want to share with you, okay? So you saw the trading volume that we just achieved, even with this tier one that just happened, okay? So before Kraken lists dog for spot trading, it had roughly around $10.5 billion worth of total trading volume. Now it's 11.1 with Kraken. Now I'm going to share with you this clip because Matthew Barbie, who's the VP of Growth, appeared on the Bitcoin show with Valeroshi and also James from Liquidium. I'm going to play this clip right now because it's actually quite fascinating how Matthew and his team have actually seen the trading volume ever since dog was listed for spot trading.
So all this other stuff is like massive lift. So it's like we have to try and rationalize this. And I think what we started to see is internally, we were talking a lot about this, and Arjun, our CEO, was super excited about just how, just crazy the dog community was. Like, they were insane, and they still are. And the kind of noise that they could make. We were like, do you know what? Even if we don't make much from this, financially speaking, I think we will win some hearts and minds from engaging and doing this in like the right way. We spent the time, the engineering time, we did it right. We were working really closely with Leonardis and team. When we did this, we were like, look, we should also do like an airdrop. We wanted to do a load more. We talked about like, hey, we could do like a custom Ordinals drop, and we were going to do like a load of stuff alongside it. But it was just like really hard operationally, and we wanted to get in there first. So we did that, and yeah, I mean, even just like from the like spot volume that this community did was like way surpassed our expectation, to be completely honest. It was like there was a huge amount, probably like based on our estimates, there's like anywhere between like 5 and 6x what we thought was actually going to happen. And nice. Just like so much engagement. It was great.
Now from this conversation, Kraken, by the way, didn't know if they were going to make any revenue from listing DOF for spot trading, but they wanted to be in early regardless because of the demand from the community. And to their surprise, they saw a 5 to 6x fold on trading volume. Just imagine when you see OKX or Bybit or even KuCoin, HTX, Crypto.com, Binance, Coinbase, any of these exchanges start to list dog. Well, they're going to see what Kraken experienced, which is massive trading volume. And that's the thing. This is proof of dog, proof in the making that listing dog for spot trading actually creates revenue, and Kraken is winning at that. Now let's talk about the Kraken F1 challenge. Now this was posted yesterday, and most likely when I post this video, they're going to post the new ranking, and then I have to cover that in tomorrow's video. But nonetheless, this is from yesterday. So as you can see, Pengu is still at number 1, while Dog is in second place. Now something that I want to pay attention to is what Leonidas says, is that he's very happy that Dog is in second place. Pengu got really lucky and had the most hype week in their history coincide with the first week of the competition. This is regarding the Pengu ETF and also the marketing budget for having all these tier 1 exchanges change their PFP to a pudgy penguin. So obviously that's going to garner a lot of attraction to the Pengu token, and even still then Dog is catching up. And Kraken says crazy timing, but community always wins out of the distance, and it's absolutely true. But let's talk about Bonk, because if you notice Bonk over in the meme coin market cap sector, Bonk is actually up 56%, so it actually got close to around $3 billion. So I wouldn't be surprised if today's standings of the F1 challenge that Bonk may have flipped Dog for P2. And that's the thing, that's what we're competing with, is that some of these tokens have VC backing marketing budgets, but if it hasn't caught up to Dog for P2, then it's gotten close to Dog for sure. So this is why I'm just telling you, don't worry, this is not going to be lived for very long, as Kraken just said. These will only have short pumps, but in the long term, in the final lap races, Dog will catch up to P1. Now, let's focus on this specific chart. Now, this is from yesterday's reporting of the F1 challenge, okay? So I put in the numbers. The most fascinating thing, and the thing that I want to congratulate you, the Dog Army, is that you're trading $100 every single day. And I've seen actually people trade a lot more than that, but you, the normal retail investor that doesn't have maybe a ton of liquidity, your dollars do count in every single trade. It doesn't matter if you buy, convert, sell, trade, whatever it is, you are actually doing it. And I don't want you to stop, and here's why. Look at Dog. Now, Dog may look like it's lagging behind, but it isn't. In fact, Dog is only still around 28.8% away from Pudgy Penguins, or aka the Penguin token. Now, the reason I bring that up is because we are actually at the exact same spot we were on July 14th. We were at 28.4%. But check this out. Look at Bonk. So we are garnering a large lead between Bonk today compared to July 14th. So we are actually gaining more traction, getting away from Bonk and sustaining a nice lead with Pengu. What does this actually mean? This means that the dog community, with their $100 trading volume that you're doing every single day, every single hour, every single second, is still putting us as a huge contender with Pengu, meaning we're actually not losing any traction. And you have to keep doing this. And the reason is because we want to keep these margins very close. The reason is in the final labs, we want to get so close that eventually the whales or anybody that wants to step in to just funnel in a whole bunch of different trades has the ability to flip Pengu. But I guarantee you, Pengu and Bach know this as well. They're paying attention to our tweets, they're paying attention to our videos. They are also wanting to catch up. But let's not ignore the community, because the community is trading. So right now we have Crypto Cash who swapped Bonk for Dog. And next up, we also have this person, Clen Bu Tirol, who swapped 2,500 of USDC into Dog. We also have Son of Dog swap around 3.1 thousand US dollars into Dog. Next up, we have J Maxi, who swapped 9,700 into Dog. And next up, we have Crypto Blues, swap roughly around $9,000 plus, or aka 0.09 Bitcoin, into Dog. And last but not least, Sidu Blockchain has just acquired around 14 million tokens as of this morning. And by the way, yesterday they acquired over 20 million tokens with a total standing of around 68 million tokens altogether. This is incredible. This is the largest publicly traded company using Dog and acquiring Dog in their treasury. And remember, their goal is to meet 200 million Dog tokens. Now you must be wondering, is C2 Blockchain buying Dog on Kraken to support Dog to be featured on the Kraken Rear Wing Challenge? Well, guess what? Yesterday when they acquired that 20 plus million Dog tokens, I asked them, Legendary Dog Move, are you acquiring Kraken FX? And guess what? They said yes. So they are supporting this. They are going to help us, along with you, the retail investor, to not only catch up to Pengu, but to eventually be in P1. But let's talk about C2 Blockchain, because in a way, C2 Blockchain is the new MicroStrategy within Dog institutional adoption, because no other meme coin has a publicly traded company, corporate treasury, that's acquiring something like this. See, we have MicroStrategy acquiring Bitcoin, but in terms of Dog or meme coins for that matter, C2 Blockchain is the very institutional company to do that. And last but not least, let's talk about this recent post that Leonidas has shared with us. He says, it's not impossible to be bullish on Dog. Several ongoing conversations with tier 1 centralized exchanges about listing Dog. And then he goes on about publicly traded companies, plushies, everything else. But the reason we want to focus on the sentence is because he just heard from Matthew Barbie that they just saw Dog experience a 5-6x fold in terms of trading volume, exceeding the expectations of Kraken. With that data, with the trading volume that you're seeing on an everyday basis with the F1 challenge, is proving, it's a proof of Dog model that listing Dog for spot trading is a reason why you want to get revenue for your centralized exchange. And so with that said, I definitely think that Leonidas is having those conversations with those tier 1s. And I would not be surprised if this were to happen right before the end of August 8th, which is the end of the Formula 1 Kraken Challenge. Now let's get into the charting and analysis. So let's look at here. Now you must be wondering, why is Dog struggling to get back up? Well, to my eyes, we're forming higher lows. Here's a higher low here. Here's a higher low here, and here is a higher low here. Eventually, this is a higher high, and I think we could see another higher high. The support level is around 380 million market cap, and I tell you what, a lot of people, especially myself and C2 Blockchain, love buying a ton of Dog every single day. It's one of our most huge benefits of being liquidity whales, which is that we can deploy capital at these prices, and we absolutely love it. But what I like to pay attention to is that the Dog price is actually bouncing off of the 50-day moving average. Yeah, you may see a curvature and you may think that this is heading into a death cross, but I think this is actually a fake out. Right now, you're seeing the Dog price completely bounce off this pretty much 50-day moving average and staying along line with it. So to me, I think it's getting set up to do another parabola event. That's just my personal view. We have so much time within the month of July for that to happen. And on the weekly basis, if you notice the MACD, nothing has changed. With the buyer's market within the MACD, the orange line is getting really close to the buyer's market. That's just simply it. And right now, on a weekly basis, this chart looks very freaking bullish. I mean, just look at this. Look at what happened back over here in October, all the way up until December. People thought this was the end of dog. And then all of a sudden, we pumped all the way up to 999 million market cap. This is really nothing, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a slight dip. So as you well know, I am absolutely bullish on dog. I have to share with you all the data and proof that dog is doing so well on Kraken, that the trading volume is doing so well on Kraken. And sooner or later, you're going to see our tier 1, by the way, list dog for spot trading. Don't forget, OKX could possibly be right around the corner. They have Runes protocol, they have the Runes integration. It could happen at any single moment in time. But other than that, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I'll try to keep you up to date tomorrow as soon as possible. So as always, be sure to smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding Dog of the Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.